Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and this is Beth's Bookish Reviews, and I'm here today to start a vlog. It is Friday, February 13th. Yes, Friday the 13th. But prepare yourselves. I finished a book. And it's a 5-star. I finished Alex North's The Man Made of Smoke. Oh my goodness, this was such a good book. This is about Dan Garvey. And Dan Garvey, when he was like 10 or 11 years old, he had a brush with a serial killer, and even though it took me from Monday to today to finish it, it was so good. Dan, after the incident when he was a child, he grew up and he became a profiler and a therapist of some very special patients. And I'm not going to tell you that either. It gives away too much. I think that's a spoiler. But he's calling back home and when his dad is, when they call him and tell him that his dad is been declared dead. So he goes home to the island and he finds out that his dad has been working on a case. And so he picks up this case and he starts investigating behind his father, and things go on from there. And yes, it is very good. And oh my goodness, I am so impressed with Alex North's writing. I loved this book, and there is just a little bit of language in it, but I don't think I encountered my first language until like page 30, and it wasn't like every other page. And you know, Tuesday we have to go pick up my chair. I bought a chair yesterday. I went out with my teacher friends. Well, Miss McCray will always be my teacher friend, but she retired last year. And then Miss McLeay, Miss Mary. And we went to some thrift stores and I found a chair. I'm so excited. We're going to go pick that up. Tuesday, I didn't find any books. My mom found a couple, but I'm saving them for a book haul. And then of course I got in some from Better World Books, but I'm saving them because I have a couple more orders from Better World Books coming in. And I spilled some water over sure. We're going to ignore that. But anyway, I have 3 books that I'm choosing from. 4 books that I'm choosing from. So let's get them down. We'll just read the first 6. Okay. Let's see what Catherine Center's The Love Haters says. I'm just taking all those out. All my little strips. I just put up my new TBR for July that might stand in for some June possibilities. Okay, so Catherine Center's The Love Haters. It was quitting time on a Friday, but Cole Hutchison didn't care. I'm going to read another one. Nobody cared too much right then, in fact, because we were all about to get laid off. That's kind of cute. Maybe I need a good little romance to settle me. Now we have Stephen King's Never Flinch. And we know this is a Holly Gibney. I had to open it because I couldn't remember her name. But then, you know, I didn't even have to see her name. Okay, wait a minute. Kind of dusty. All right. Trig. March, and the weather's miserable. Okay, we'll read another one. The Straight Circle meets in the basement of the Buell Street Methodist Church every weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. It's technically a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, but plenty of alcoholics also attend. Straight Circle is usually packed. It's calendar spring, has been for almost a week, but in Buckeye City, sometimes known as the second mistake on the lake, Cleveland being the first, actual spring comes late. When the meeting lets out, a fine drizzle is hanging in the air. By nightfall, it will thicken and turn to sleet. I like March and the weather's miserable. That was cute. Okay. Would Stephen King's qualify for? Yes. We would qualify with Big Book Summer for this one. With Big Book Summer for this one. Alright. I haven't read Camilla Sten in a minute, because she only has 2 that have been translated. This is The Bachelorette Party. And isn't that beautiful? I love those colors. Okay. Oh, her dedication to Mark for teaching me to dream bigger. Every day this book would not exist if not for you. Prologue. We'll read from the prologue. May 12th, 2012. The bonfire was starting to die out. It had been a pitiful attempt at a fire to begin with, fueled by optimism and vodka. The few skinny, damp branches they'd managed to find on the island had barely agreed to catch flame after half an hour of gentle coercion at the beginning of the night. Let's see what chapter 1 starts with. Prologue is kind of long. Okay, April 14th, 2022. What was the 2012? Okay, so it's 10 years afterwards. April 14th, 2022. If I kill myself, I don't have to go. The rays of the early morning sun are filtering in through the cheap, gauzy curtains that are one of the few things remaining in the bedroom, and the hangover is threatening to push its way up my throat. Whiskey is never kind to the system, and cheap whiskey even less so, but it helps me sleep these days. Okay. This one wouldn't count as a Big Book Summer. It's only it's not even 300 pages. It's like 290. Yeah. All right. I'm kind of not wanting to read this one right away because I'll have to wait another year for another one. With a Vengeance, Riley Sager. This one would not qualify. It's just under, it's 382. Departure. The train isn't empty, although it certainly feels that way. Whole sections currently sit unused. Coach cars, dining car, sleeper, all are vacant and silent save for the echo of the train itself, clickety-clacking over the tracks. This train that can hold dozens, even hundreds, is occupied by only 8 people. 7 are alive. 1 is dead. I don't know which one to read. Okay. I have another one up here I might read. Got all this stuff up here. All right, let's see what this one says. This is The Quiet Game by Greg Iles. Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Galatians 6:7. I am standing in line for Walt Disney. It's a small world ride, holding my 4-year-old daughter in my arms, trying to entertain her as the serpentine line of parents and children moves slowly toward the flat-bottomed boats emerging from the grotto to the music of an endless audio loop. Suddenly, Annie jerks taut in my arms and points into the crowd. Daddy, I saw Mama. Hurry. Maybe this is just a try-it chapter. All right, let's do this one. The Spectacular by Fiona Davis. I still dance in my dreams, but not in my life. In my life, I shuffle around this too large house, tossing whatever is within reach into the nearest cardboard box, not bothering to wrap anything in newspaper or to make sure the box labeled living room actually contains items from the living room. I gotta move these papers. I hope you're enjoying this. Oh, sorry. All right. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Boy, this has got a lot of slips of paper in it. A podcaster has decided to ruin my life, so I'm buying a chicken. I make plans for the chicken as I sit in my cubicle at Walter J. Brown Investment Services, waiting to be fired. I stopped pretending to work 2 hours ago. Now I'm just staring at recipes on my phone, dreaming about sticking lemons up a chicken's butt. Oh my goodness. This is a maybe. Okay. Last one. The Stolen Queen, Fiona Davis. I'll leave that in there. It's my little 52 books in 52 weeks. This is Charlotte, New York City, 1978. The staff meeting of the Metropolitan Museum's Department of Egyptian Art was supposed to start at 10, which meant Associate Curator Charlotte Cross arrived at 9 to prepare her colleagues for battle. Okay, so that's a no. I'm going to say no to the other Fiona Davis right now. I'm going to say no to Greg Iles right now. I didn't read the first one to this one, so let's read the first line to Homecoming. I have started it. Prologue. Adelaide Hills, South Australia, 1959, New Year's Day. And of course there was to be a lunch party to mark the new year. A small affair, just family, but Thomas would require all the trimmings. Unthinkable that they would do otherwise. The Turners were big on tradition. And with Nora and Richard visiting from Sydney, neither frippery nor fanfare was to be skipped. I don't know where chapter 1 is. Yeah. Okay. No for that one right now. Even though I'm currently reading it. Okay. I am reading Mansfield Park. Listening to it. Put this back up here. Okay. All right. So right now we have Riley Sager with a Vengeance. Listen for the Lie. I'm going to say no to the bachelorette party right now. I don't think I want to read a romance right now. I'm going to say no to this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a chapter in these, and then I will let you know what I'm going to read. But I'm not going to read it right now because I'm going to do some diamond painting. So I'll let you know what I decided. Hello everybody, I'm back. I just wanted to update you on what I'm reading. Please don't mind the hair. I just threw it up because I couldn't stand it on my neck. And I didn't get all of it up. It's really not long enough to put up, but you know, doing housework and all that good stuff. But more to the point, you're not here to hear all that. So I was just fixing to sit down and write some notes in my notebook. I haven't really started anything, but I have some notes that I've been thinking about Mansfield Park and Jane Austen and some of her other works that I will share in my wrap-up. But I am currently reading this. I am on page 250, and they are getting ready for the ball that her uncle has chosen to have before her brother leaves. So currently reading that, and that is for my not my readathon, but it's for my DIY literature degree, but it's I'm also reading it for the read along that Anne from In Search of Wonder and Coffee in a Book. I think her name is Cheryl, is having the 250th birthday celebration of Jane Austen. That's the read this month. I'm also reading Jenna's Books Love Everyone Book Club pick. The second one I've already finished, Hannah Coulter, but I am reading the nonfiction pick. It's The Dirty Life, a memoir of farming, food, and love by Kristen Kimball. And I'm really enjoying this, even though I'm only on page 46. I have to really get into this now because, you know, it's the middle of the month, so I need to get to reading that one. I also am reading Tidelands by Philippa Gregory. Kind of got to a standstill and I had to send the audiobook back. But I'm on page 392 of this copy, which puts me a little over halfway into this one. So, and it's really good. And I'm also reading By Gaslight by Stephen Price. Physically reading this one. I haven't made it too far into this. I'm on chapter 7, page 139. It is a big book. It is 731 pages. This is about, it's a historical fiction about William Pinkerton, Alan Pinkerton's son. And he is chasing the the fabled con artist Edward Shade, the one his dad died without ever fighting. So, and then yesterday I was on here and was reading like paragraphs to you, the first paragraphs or so, and I chose, because I'm reading such other big books, I chose Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Now, I haven't read any of it. I did read the first paragraph to my mom. And so, yeah, we are going to get some reading done. I want to take some notes first about Jane Austen and some of her books that I've noticed kind of coincide, and then I'm going to do some reading. Right now I'm watching Books Love Jenna. I'm watching one of her old videos, and I'm going to put some stickers on my notebook. And the next clip. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back. It's Sunday. And I have an update for you. I have finished Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. This was so good. This is the one I read to you, and she was looking for chicken recipes. She was about to get fired because of a podcaster. It was so good. I gave it 4 stars. And so let me tell you a little bit about it. This is about a girl that has been accused of murdering her best friend 5 years previous to when this starts. And she has moved to LA and has a job and a new boyfriend. And so when this podcaster puts out this first interviews, and everybody finds out that she's accused of this crime, but there wasn't enough evidence to press charges or anything, she loses her job. And then her boyfriend really, he doesn't break up with her, but he's kind of scared of her. Anyway, she gets a call from her grandmother, and her grandmother asks her to come to her hometown for a birthday celebration. And so she does. And the surprise, the podcaster is in town. And so she can't remember what happened the night of the murder. And so it goes on from there. And it was really good. There is some language, and there are a few scenes. Most of the time it goes to, it just kind of fades into, it's not explicit. There is one scene toward the end of the book that gets a little graphic, but I mean, it doesn't go into explicit detail. It's more like a choking thing that she's doing. And that's all for now. Okay, I'm back, and I don't remember when my last clip was, but it is, I think, the 19th. I am working on summer PD for school and trying to get my hours, and I finished Mansfield Park yesterday by Jane Austen. So this counts for Big Book Summer that Sue Jackson hosts with her. She has a co-host, Melinda, at A Web of Stories, because it has 438 pages. And this is Cheryl at Coffee and a Book and Anne at In Search of Wonder. They're reading it. This was the book for their 250th birthday celebration for Jane Austen. This was the book for the month, and I gave it 4 stars. This was my first time reading it. Definitely not my favorite. To me, it's a little strange. I did struggle with reading it and listening to it. Now, I listen to it and follow along most of the time. Sometimes I would just listen and then catch up and, find out where we were. I did not annotate in this at all. did not underline or mark anything. I'm sure I will be going back through it at some point. Fanny goes to live with her cousins at Mansfield Park and her aunt and uncle. And Edmund is the only one who really makes her feel welcome. Her aunt, Bertram, I guess they call him by their last name, loves her dearly and can't seem to be without her as she gets older. But she feels like Edmund is the only one that really cares about her, because he is there to comfort her, and he teaches her, and he, I believe he gives her writing paper in the beginning. I don't know if that's just in the movie that I watched or if it's actually in the book. But her Aunt Norris is not nice, but Edmund does help her become a young lady, and she falls in love with him. And they have some people that come to I think it's a parsonage. Anyway, they move in like just a little ways away, and somewhere on the grounds, I think. Anyway, they move in with their sister, who's married to a doctor, and Edward thinks that they're the Crawfords. Edward thinks Mary is beautiful, and he thinks that he's trying to convince Fanny that they should, team up with this brother and sister duo. So Fanny knows how Henry is, and when Henry's intentions become clear, she isn't interested. So, yeah. I went by the cover as far as it says, Mary sets her romantic sights on Edmund. And Edmund is infatuated with Mary. So, yeah. It was strange to me. I would not have expected that from Jane Austen. But, anyway, that is what I finished, and I think I'm going to pick up I don't know yet. I'll have to let you know. But anyway, that's my clip, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, I'm back. So I am standing up in my office, and you can see my light, but I wanted to show you the merch that I got from Anne from In Search of Wonder. I ordered this shirt, and it came in super quick. It is from, it says Obstinate Headstrong Girl. I absolutely love it. Yes, it is wrinkled. I didn't even put it in the dryer. I had to put it on immediately so I could show it off. And it is so super soft. And yes, this is so me. I am the obstinate headstrong girl. So anyway, I have more of a haul to show you. I just wanted to show off my merch from Anne. So, and I will leave her link down below, and you can go to her channel to order her her merch. She has more than just the shirt. I also have a cup coming in. This is the same thing, but I love this. I love it. Oh my goodness, I just love it. And oh man, it is so soft. So soft. And she said it was soft, but anyway. I finished a book. I finished Tidelands. Now, I did listen to this and I followed along. I'll push this over here. And this book was incredible. Okay, so I got this on the recommendation of Jenna from Books Love Jenna. And this is by Philippa Gregory. And it is, when I ordered my book, it was like large print. I didn't realize that because I got it. It is a used library copy. And it came from Palm Beach County Library System. It is a Better World Books library. That's where I got it from. But my copy has 663 pages. So it counted as a big book summer. A big book for Big Book Summer. So anyway, in this book, this woman, Eleanor, goes, at the beginning, she is out in the churchyard waiting to see if her missing husband comes to her so she'll know if he's dead or just missing. She works with herbs and she's a midwife, and she meets this young man in the churchyard and hides him and then helps him get to where he needs to be. It's very dangerous the way she takes him, because they live in, it's along the marsh, but it's low tide, so she shows him that way. The people think she's a witch. But I just love her. She's amazing. I just love this woman. And some things happen in this book, and she's just amazing. This woman is. And this is at the time when King Charles is taken and held by Parliament and the army. I guess it's called the army. And yeah. So you have all of that in there as well. And so you're having her side of the story, and also you're seeing the actions going on in London about King Charles. So amazing. This was amazing, and I'm looking forward to getting the next book in the series, Dark Tides. So 5 stars. So for somebody who didn't think she was going to get even 2 books read this month, now for the fun part. I have gotten in some orders, and I have at least 1 order coming in this month from Book Outlet still. It's supposed to be here sometime today, but I figure I won't get it until tomorrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you this, and then I'll include 1 more clip tomorrow before I upload this video. So my mom stopped by Goodwill, and she picked up some books for me, and then I always go through them and see what I'm gonna want. So the first one is The Saints of Swallow Hill, and this is by Donna Everhart, and it says, set against the backdrop of the Great Depression, Donna Everhart's lyrical new novel is a powerful story of courage, survival, and friendship. In the dense pine forests of North Carolina, turpentiners labor hacking into the tree trunks to draw out the sticky sap that gives the Tar Heel State its nickname, and hauling the resin to stills to be refined. Among them is Ray Lynn Cobb and her husband Warren, who run a small turpentine farm together. Though the work is hard and often dangerous, Ray Lynn, who spent her childhood in an orphanage, is thankful for it, and for her kind, if careless husband. When Warren falls victim to his own negligence, Ray Lynn undertakes a desperate act of mercy. To keep herself from jail, she disguises herself as a man and heads to the only place she can think of that might offer anonymity. I can't ever say that. Anonymous. A turpentine camp in Georgia named Swallow Hill. Okay, she picked up this copy of Frank Peretti's The Oath. I have a copy that I'm going to send to my sister, but I will tell you what this is about. An ancient sin, an ancient oath, a town with a deadly secret. Something sinister is at work in Hyde River, an isolated old mining town in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. Something evil. Under the cover of darkness, it strikes without warning, taking life in the most chilling and savage fashion. The latest victim, nature photographer Cliff Benson, was brutally killed while camping in the mountains. His wife, Evelyn, who was found bloody and half-crazed on a logging road, now lies dazed in a local hospital bed with only vague recollections of the terrifying attack. With little hard evidence to go on, Sheriff Les Collins closes the case, chalking it up to the work of a rogue bear, just like so many other unsolvable deaths and disappearances that have plagued Hyde River over the years. But wildlife biologist Steve Benson isn't convinced. He knows bears, and he knows that his brother, a seasoned woodsman like himself, would have taken every precaution. Refusing to let the matter drop, Steve begins his own investigation. Attractive auburn-haired sheriff's deputy Tracy Ellis isn't convinced either. She grew up in Hyde River, a town haunted by bizarre incidents. She's also seen enough things swept under the rug by her boss to know that something's amiss. And when another person turns up missing, she joins Steve in his search for the truth. But the harder Steve presses the townsfolk for information, the more they close ranks, as if sworn to secrecy. All except for Levi Cobb, an aging mechanic who talks to himself, considered the town crazy man. Levi rants and raves about old superstitions, folk tales to anyone who will listen. It is only when Steve gains access to old letters and diaries of the town's forefathers that he begins to peel away the layers of mystery surrounding Hyde River. As he does, he and Tracy are drawn closer to each other and to the town's terrible secret. What they discover is a predator more terrifying than anything they had imagined, and a town in the grip of unspeakable evil. I'm going to let you see that picture up close. Every time something moves in here, he gets up and runs. You want to come be on camera? Smitty, come here. Now look, I asked you were you going to make an appearance. Come here. Come here. He doesn't usually unless I have mail. Nope, not today, he says. She also picked up Tamora Pierce's Becca Cooper Terrier. I think this is a series, actually. And it looks like it might be fantasy. It says, in 246 HE, the Provost dogs guard Tortle's capital city. Becca Cooper is one of their newest trainees, a puppy wet behind the ears, but eager to learn. But Becca will have to learn faster than she bargained for because she's assigned to the lower city, Chorus's toughest district. It's filled with pickpockets who are fast as lightning, rogues who will knock your teeth out with a smile, and murderers with hidden plans. In the constant battle for the lower city's streets, Becca will have to use her smarts and her own eerie brand of magic if she hopes to survive. This is the beginning of Becca's story, her legend, and her legacy. Are you going to make an appearance on camera? What is that? Come here. What do you got? Hold on just a minute. Okay, so I had to take what he had away from him because he had a roll of washi tape. He will get anything. Come here. Now he's pouting. Okay. My cup says, I don't need Google. My boyfriend knows everything. I don't have a boyfriend. I have a husband. That was one of my granny's cups. She always said her boyfriend was God. All right, the next one is Patricia McDonald's Secret Admirer. All right. Laura Reed feels safe and happy in Cape Christian, a little jewel of Victorian architecture and quiet streets in New Jersey's southern tip. The children's books she writes are earning her modest fame. Her husband Jimmy's art gallery is flourishing. And Cape Christian is the right kind of small town in which to raise their little boy Michael. She never dreams that this New Year's Eve her nearly perfect life will end. That a man in a ski mask will break into her house, knock her out, and shoot her husband dead. That it will be nearly 1 hour before she arrives and calls 911. That those missing minutes before her call will convince police that she committed the crime. Although there is too little evidence to arrest her, Laura feels the eyes of the entire community, including her in-laws, accusing her. Even her lawyer, Jimmy's business partner, doesn't seem to believe her. Her only ally is Gary, a young wheelchair-bound painter. His faithful devotion and the bouquets he sends brighten Laura's days. Then Ian Turner docks his sailboat in Cape Christian, and a chance meeting brings him into Laura's life. His marriage, too, has ended in tragedy, and he not only believes Laura, but falls in love with her. For the first time since Jimmy's murder, Laura dares to feel alive. All right, and then the last one is Emma Donahue's Akin. Says Noah Saviego is a retired chemistry professor and widower living in the Upper West Side, but born in the south of France. He is days away from his first visit back to Nice since he was a child, bringing with him a handful of puzzling photographs he's discovered from his mother's wartime years. But he receives a call from Children's Services. An 11-year-old great-nephew whom he's never met urgently needs someone to look after him. Reluctantly, Noah agrees to take Michael along on his trip. Much has changed in this famously charming seaside Mecca, still haunted by memories of the Nazi occupation. The unlikely duo, suffering from jet lag and culture shock, bicker about everything from steak frights to screen time. But Noah gradually comes to appreciate the boy's truculent wit, and Michael's ease with tech and his sharp eye help Noah unearth troubling details about their family's history. As truths about their past come to light, they find they are more akin than they knew. Again, that's Emma Donahue's Akin. Isn't that a beautiful picture? All right, then I was watching a video that Books of Jenna did. It was an older video, and it was where she had some Christmas books that she was going to be reading. So I felt like buy in some Christmas books because I obviously didn't have enough. I do, but well, I've been wanting this one, and it's not a Christmas, but it's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I checked it out of my library at school where I work, but I never got around to reading it. It says, this is the story of an investigation turned obsession. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about, and 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project. At first, just to cast doubt on the original investigation. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. So I got that one. And then I have 4 that I saw Jenna preview, and some of them she didn't read that year. This was an older video, like I said. But anyway, and y'all, I don't care that stickers are on my books. I have the worst luck trying to take stickers off. Usually it messes up my book cover. So I usually just leave my stickers on because I don't want to mess up my book covers. So the first one I wanted to get was Mary Kay Andrews' The Santa Suit. When newly divorced, Ivy Perkins buys an old farmhouse, sight unseen. She is definitely looking for a change in her life. The Four Roses, as the farmhouse is called, is a labor of love, but Ivy didn't bargain on just how much love. The previous family left so much furniture and so much junk that it's a full-time job sorting through all of it. At the top of the closet, Ivy discovers an old Santa suit, beautifully made and decades old. In the pocket of the suit, she finds a note written in a childish hand. It's from a little girl who has one Christmas wish, and that is for her father to return home from the war. This discovery sets Ivy off on a mission. Who wrote the note? Did the man ever come home? What mysteries did the Rose family hold? Then... just like magic. The holidays were never her thing until she unwittingly summons the holiday spirit before her very eyes. Betty Hughes once knew the comfort of luxury, flaunting a collection of designer purses and an enviable dream home in Hawaii. That was before she lost all her money. Long obsessed with her public image, Betty boasts an extravagant lifestyle on social media. But the reality is, Betty is broke and squatting in Colorado, and her family has no idea. Christmas, with its pressure to meet familial expectations, is looming when Betty plays a vinyl record of All I Want for Christmas Is You backward and accidentally conjures up Hall, the holiday spirit, in the form of a charming and handsome, if offbeat man. Once the shock wears off, Betty knows that she stumbled upon the greatest gift, a chance to make all her holiday wishes come true, plus a ready-made fiancé. But as some of Betty's wishes lose their charm, she finds herself thrown off kilter by Hall's sweet nature. Suddenly, grumpy Betty is finding her heart merry and light. But the happier she gets, the shorter Hall's time on earth grows. Can Betty channel the Christmas spirit and learn to live with goodwill toward all men, or will her selfish ways return as soon as the holidays are over? And then this one sounded interesting. Kate Reculia's Bellwether Rhapsody. 15 years ago, a murder-suicide in room 712 rocked the grand old Bellwether Hotel and the young bridesmaid who witnessed it, Minnie Graves. Now hundreds of high school musicians have gathered at the Bellwether for the annual statewide festival. Minnie has returned to face her demons, and a blizzard is threatening to trap them all inside. When a young prodigy disappears from the infamous room 712, the search for her entwines an eccentric cast of conductors and caretakers, teenagers on the verge, and adults haunted by memories. And the last one, A Murder at Balmoral by Chris McGeorge. The king is dead, the killer is in the family. Solving this murder will be a royal pain. The royal family has gathered at their Scottish retreat, Balmoral Castle, for the traditional Christmas. As a blizzard gathers outside and a delicious dinner is prepared, the family circles up for a holiday toast. King Eric has something momentous to say. In fact, he is about to name his successor, but as he raises a glass of his favorite whiskey, he drops dead. The king has been poisoned. Someone in the family must have done it, and each one of them had an opportunity and motive. Eric's beloved head chef, Jonathan, must now play detective. Why would one of the king's own family members want to kill him, and how did they do it? What happens in the castle usually stays in the castle, but this secret might be too big for these battlements. John is determined to expose the truth, even if it puts him in the killer's crosshairs and shakes the entire monarchy to its core. All right. Then, Anne from In Search of Wonder, who, once again, designed this wonderful, beautiful shirt, is having a reading challenge, readathon in August, and it's the Pioneer Trail, I believe is what it's called. And I ordered some books. I think I ordered all the books she had on there. So I'm going to show you those. And then I have just a couple for interest. All right. The first one is Laura, The Life of Laura Ingalls Wilder, author of The Little House on the Prairie. And I just got the little paperback edition, the little trade paperback. And there are pictures in there. This is Laura and Almanzo. Oh, that's why. This is Carrie Marion Laura Ingalls in 1881. Anyway, I have never read the Little House on the Prairie books. I've watched some of the show. But, first time for everything. Then I ordered The Children's Blizzard by Melanie Benjamin. And this is about the blizzard in 1888. I ordered these from Better World Books, and they sent me 2 little bookmarks. I ordered a kid's version of Prairie Girl, The Life of Laura Ingalls Wilder by William Anderson. And this will be fun to read and then take to the school for the kids, Oh. Well, I didn't really want y'all to see that, I guess. Anyway. Boy, I got my chair up some, so, okay, see. It's just a very slim copy. Then I got, I was having fun. David McCullough's The Pioneers. This is the heroic story of the settlers who brought the American ideal west. As part of the treaty Treaty of Paris, in which Great Britain recognized the new United States of America, Britain ceded the land that comprised the immense Northwest Territory. A Massachusetts minister named Manasseh Cutler was instrumental in opening the vast territory to veterans of the Revolutionary War and their families for settlement. The law that opened the land to settlers included 3 remarkable conditions: freedom of religion, free universal education, and most important, the prohibition of slavery. Then I bought Caroline Little House Revisited by Sarah Miller. This, I want to say, was a library copy because it has the film over it. Oh, there's a map on the end pages. That's really nice. Tells you how much I looked at these before I just started filming. No pictures that I see. The map is also on the back end pages too. And it was a library book. Then I went to Amazon and ordered this one. This is Pioneer Girl, the annotated autobiography by Pamela Smith Hill, Laura Ingalls Wilder. And this does have pictures. It is huge and heavy. So those are the books that I got, and I think I only have to read one of them. But you know, never can get just one. Okay, and then I was going through and it was talking about I was looking at new releases and stuff, but I got now I'm interested in this story. It is Original Sin: President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again by Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. I just want to see what it says. And I'm going to keep my views to myself. And yeah. And then I also ordered Fox by Joyce Carol Oates. And it says, these pages, this is 650 pages. These pages are like super thin. They're like way thin. But it says, who is Frances Fox? A charming English teacher new to idyllic Langhorne Academy. Fox beguiles many of his students, their parents, and his colleagues at the elite boarding school, while leaving others wondering where he came from and why his biography is so enigmatic. When two brothers discover Fox's car half submerged in a pond in a local nature preserve and parts of an unidentified body strewn about the nearby woods, the entire community, including Detective Horace Zwinder and his deputy, begins to ask disturbing questions about Frances Fox and who he might really be. So I got those two in. I also ordered two classics. I ordered, and this is for my DIY literature degree, because I'm thinking about Victorian literature next year. I ordered Marie Edgeworth's Belinda and Frances Burney's Evelina. Okay, so that's my haul for the last couple weeks, and I will be back probably tomorrow with the rest of my haul from Book Outlet. I think it's middle grade, and I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything. And my last clip, if I finished anything. I am almost finished. I think I have about 80 or 90 pages in The Dirty Life by Kristen Kimball. I don't know if I'll finish that or not, but I'm looking forward to starting Riley Sager's new book. So that's what I plan to start today. And yep, I'll see you tomorrow.